Yeah, like my signature is going to be getting in the way of the artist on the screen, where no one's going to be able to see what you're saying. So we're here with the amazing songwriter Liam Sweeney, arguably the most anticipated guest so far. Do you know how many different people I've had ask about you coming on and doing an interview?
Who's mentioned me?
John Witherspoon.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He's mentioned you a few times. I think you're kind of inspirational and enigmatic to a bunch of the writers,
Really?
the local writers. Yeah, definitely. I mean, your name comes up often, and people are kind of intrigued by, not
The
just
process.
your music, but your drive and your energy.
Yeah.
You've got a very kind of, you're a one of one. You know what I mean? I've never met anyone like you, and you've got your own ideas and your own worldview and your own method for songwriting, and no one else could do what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that means a lot.
I really mean it. Where does the drive come from?
It's hard to say, really. I've just got a passion for it. First and foremost, a passion for doing it. I've always loved writing words. Like ever since I was a teenager, I've always loved writing words and poems and stuff like that. So the past couple of years, I've sort of adapted them into songs, really.
Right.
Gradually, they've become songs, but I don't really know where it comes from. All I know is it's just the drive within me to keep writing songs and keep getting my music heard and stuff.
Yeah.
But I can't really put a word on. I can't really explain in words like where it comes from, really.
Right.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, and then the other side of the same coin, I think, I've noticed that you'll go through periods of self-doubt, or you're your own biggest critic.
Yeah, I'd say that's true. Yeah, sometimes I'll overthink a performance, maybe, and
Right.
because I want people to listen to the songs. I want people to enjoy what I do, really, and
Yeah.
I think everyone feels the same way in that respect. Getting your music heard and gaining respect off people on the scene and stuff like that. That's it.
Right.
I probably overthink it a lot, really,
Yeah.
but it comes from wanting to get my music heard and stuff.
Yeah, and then an extension of your drive and your kind of passion is evident in the way in which you'll promote and present through your stories, through your through like Instagram and these other platforms.
Right.
You will kind of, at times, you might put a story up with a massive kind of explanation of how you're feeling, or how the music's going, how the process is going, and you're really kind of letting people in to them details and them nuances into how you're going about being an artist.
Yeah.
More, and I'd say you more than anyone else has this kind of never ending passion. You said once, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is not just a hobby. This is something that's it's deep within you, that you have to express yourself through your music, and it's like this, deep passion and desire within you that has to be fulfilled.
Yeah, I mean, it starts as a hobby, but the more you do it, the more into it you get, and you get more of a drive to do it and stuff. But it comes from within, really. It's a good way of expressing how you feel inside. I think it's a good outlet to get your emotions out. I think songwriting and performing is a good way to express yourself. I don't think there's any better way to express yourself than music, really. And the themes of the songs can be quite complex, which is why I try and explain what the songs are about.
Yeah, well, touching on some of your songs, I've spoke to you before about a little bit about your process in regards to the meaning behind your songs, or to what degree they're based in reality, or based on real people or real situations. And you've said that, much like Ben Whitley, I was talking to both you and Ben Whitley, and it seems that both of you had this kind of approach where you would draw from, narratives, fictional stories, and use these as a way to convey sometimes a deeper meaning.
That's right, yeah. I think coming up with a concept and creating characters is sort of way. It's a good way to express yourself, how you're feeling, but not putting you in that
indirectly.
Indirectly, yeah. So it's a good way of expressing how you feel about certain things, I think.
Right.
By creating characters, you could be that character, but you might not say you're that character.
It's not set in stone.
It's not set in stone.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
But I think there's always an element of you in any song you write. There's always an element of you in that, even though it could be a character you've created. There's always an element of yourself in the song, I think.
Yeah. Even in some of these, fictional premises, there's lines in songs that you sing that sit with me and make me think. Like, there's a line that you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, it goes like, something about tools in the basement, or how does that go?
Yeah, Mistress of a Gambling Man.
Mistress of a Gambling Man, you talk about the attic in the basement.
Yeah, basically, there's not enough sharp tools in the attic. It's all deep down in the basement.
Yeah, and that is like riddled with kind of
deep
explain
meaning. What it means?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Basically, you're not thinking clearly. You're not thinking clearly.
So the attic is your brain.
Is your brain? Yeah, not enough sharp tools in the attic. It's all deep down in your heart. So the basement is a way of saying you've got a lot of heart, but you're not up there.
Right.
You're not thinking clearly.
Right.
So it can be a metaphor for.
Well, that can be an endearing quality in someone, right? Like if I was talking to you about someone and I said this person's, they're not very cognizant a lot of the time, but they feel everything that they're doing, But you found a poetic way to express that.
Yeah. I think it basically means you're giving it your all, you're putting all your heart and soul into it, but you're not thinking rationally while you're doing it.
Yeah. And is life superficial?
I mean, to an extent it is, I'd say, but life's what you make of it, isn't it? I think we're all in the same boat, aren't we? Everyone's trying to get by.
Yeah, well, that's another line.
Life is so superficial.
And when you say it, you often point.
Expressive.
Yeah, it's like a
statement,
a touchstone moment in this song where you'll take your hand away from the strings and you'll point towards the audience and you'll say, "Life is so superficial." Now that's such an interesting choice, I think.
I think it basically means that a lot of the lives, the way we live our lives day to day, it isn't real in a way. Like social media and the world of Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, it's not real life. You know what I mean? And I think real life comes from people, emotions and developing friendships and whatever. I think that's
right.
That's what life comes from. But there's a lot of superficial aspects to life, which is it's sort of a dig at certain things like social media and stuff like that.
Right.
Sort of what it's about, really. The line.
I've noticed in some of your songs that you employ this writing technique of using like fables or animals, or anthropomorphizing different creatures.
Right, yeah. In certain songs, yeah.
Yeah, and it evokes a very kind of I don't know, like some like otherworldly, magical element to them as well.
Yeah.
Do you take inspiration from certain novels and stories that have these, these fables that have animals,
Yeah, I'm inspired by a lot of like classic literature and stuff, and
right.
A lot of classic film. One of my songs, "The Stars Will Align," it's about a wolf cub alone in the woods,
right,
looking for his family.
Yeah,
and it's a metaphor for loneliness, really. That's what the song's about. It's a metaphor.
Well, the stars will align. Is that like alluding to like fate?
Yeah,
like that. In the right moment,
all will be okay. Yeah, basically, the stars will align. All will be good. In the end, it will work out in the end.
Right.
So it's sort of. It has an element of sadness to it, but it's got hope as well. A lot of the songs are right.
Yeah. And then in the projects that you put out, you've got a project that's in the works now. There's a couple songs that you've just played from it.
Right, yeah.
And there's a overarching thematic structure, it seems, to some of your works.
Yeah.
You're putting thought into like, oh no, this is not just a singular song.
Concept.
Yeah, it's part of a concept, and as you're writing, you're kind of collecting all of these ideas together into like there's a through line narrative and there's a cognizant kind of.
They all connect,
Yeah. How does that come together for you?
It's hard to explain really. It just comes randomly out the blue, like these ideas. I could be watching something on Netflix or something, and something could like inspire me to write something. This particular concept album I'm currently writing, The Neanderthal.
Yeah.
It's about it sets during the Stone Age, and a Neanderthal is cast out by his tribe, and he goes on the run and goes on a big journey. So that's what the album's about, really. They all connect together. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of different themes like betrayal, romance, friendship.
Well, you have these kind of grand premises and landscapes which your stories play out in, but then they have this like rooted kind of personal element to them as well, where it's like something like betrayal, love, or something like this. It's relatable, but then it's also like staged in these grand kind of scenes that you're painting. Would you ever find yourself doing a left turn and writing in a different style? Where like, for example, I asked Ben if he ever went through a big breakup, would he end up writing a song that was very personal and real?
I mean, I'd be open to it if the right idea came along. It's good to try new things, I think, try different ways of writing stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of trying new things, you've also took on the harmonica.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
And I've been playing a few months,
A few months. Yeah. How has that developed?
Yeah, I really enjoy it, playing harmonica. It adds a lot to the songs. It adds a different layer to the songs, I feel. I mean, I'm not a great harmonica player, but I feel it adds a lot to it. It adds a lot to the songs and stuff.
Yeah. And then what went into the decision of having a 12-string? I think you're the only 12-string player
who plays
on the scene.
I play it as my main instrument.
Yeah.
I just think it's also explained. It's a more rounded sound. I think it's got more of a. I just prefer the sound. It's more rounded and it's more. I like a powerful sound, like a big powerful sound. I think the 12-string adds more of a powerful sound.
Yeah. Well, it can sound more than one instrument at times, doesn't it? It sounds like there's more than one instrument playing.
Because I feel I'm not really a great guitar player, so I think the 12-string sort of adds.
Do you feel like it's filling a gap?
In a way, yeah. I think it adds more to the songs in a way. I think it makes them more. I think it makes them stand out more with the 12-string.
I see.
I feel.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I just like that big sound, the big sound of the 12-string, and I think it's got a certain sound to it, which I like, a certain ring to it.
I know that you're putting a band together at the moment and getting ready for a bigger sound when you perform live to really bring the songs to another level.
Yeah.
And I know recently you went to watch Bruce Springsteen.
Always my hero, yeah, Bruce Springsteen.
And he has these, big band elements in his songs. Do you take a lot of inspiration from artists like that?
Yeah, I'm inspired by a lot of artists like Springsteen. He's one of my heroes. I went to see him in Dublin in May, and I just thought to myself, I need to get a band together. I need to find a big sound. Not to copy what my heroes have done, but take certain things and learn from your hero. I think learning from your heroes is a good way to go about it. But developing your own sound as well, your own unique sound, while gaining inspiration from your heroes and stuff.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm looking for that big sound, really, the big rock and roll sound. So I like violins, trumpets, saxophones, and flute. Just sort of like an orchestra, like a rock and roll orchestra.
Right. That's
what I'm looking for. I think that's the next level, getting a band together and perform my songs live under a band set. And I think that's the next stage.
Right. Yeah. And then sometimes you will say something, I've noticed, you'll post something along the lines of, I'm taking a break.
Right.
Yeah. I'm taking a break from performing.
I've had enough.
And then the next day, I'll see you at an open mic. What's that? What's going on there?
I don't know. Sometimes there's a lot of frustrating. Like the life of a musician, it can be frustrating. Because I think everyone's in the same boat. They want people to listen to the music, and you want people to, enjoy what you do. And sometimes you feel like, what's the point? I'm a reaching people.
Right.
And so sometimes when the frustration comes, you feel like you need to take a break to recharge and then come back even stronger. But the next day, I'll often feel fine in myself again, and just like have that urge to perform. I think that urge to perform, I don't think it'll ever go away. Like it's just a constant urge to perform, even though at times I should take a break from performing maybe and focus on other things.
Right.
And recharge. It's just always there constantly, that never-ending urge to perform. Yeah, it's a good thing, but you can frustrate yourself at times if you're your own worst critic.
Yeah. The viewers of this episode might notice that we're losing the light.
Right, yeah.
And I can see on the screen here.
Can the viewers see us?
They'll still barely be able to see us. But
right.
What I think we're gonna do is, well, I'm breaking the convention here, and it's gonna be a two-parter.
Yeah.
So could you clap for me? No, like one. No, not like that. No, just one big loud clap. Amazing. I'm always paranoid that I've got like a piece of hair just sticking out in a weird angle.
Is that the right angle, is it?
Yeah. We'll just do me customary block the face with the mic. Yeah, so we're back again, with a little bit more light this time.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Good to be back. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, in your songs, there's a lot of repetition.
Right.
So you'll say a line, and then you'll say it again, and then you'll say it again. And then I've found that all your songs stick.
Repeating verses at times.
Yeah, repeating the verse as well. It'll stick in your head. Is that intentional?
Sometimes it is, yeah. I want the listener to listen to the songs and understand the words and interpret the words the best way they can, really. So I want the listener to hear the words. So I think by repeating it, it's embedded in them, isn't it, into the listener?
I suppose so. Well, I told you before how, like, your songs to me have the same effect as like Alice Coltrane, who's this old like jazz, meditative. What's the word?
Yeah.
An old jazz musician.
Yeah.
Who would have these kind of reoccurring themes and moments that like compound upon each other and have this kind of resonant effect where like you'll go away from it and the repetition makes it kind of really sink deep into your bones.
Yeah, I mean, with some of the songs, they come full circle in a way. Like for certain songs, I'll repeat like the first verse to round it off.
Right.
In a way, like, so I'd sing like the first verse as the final verse to round it all together. Like full circle.
Tie it in a bow.
In a way, yeah.
And then your singing style, in terms of like, in contrast to say Ben Whitley, sitting right there, in contrast to Ben, you've got a loud kind of projection when you sing. Is that something that you think is like a signature for you? Sort
of, yeah. I like to. I'm looking for a powerful sound, like when I perform. So I like to give it me all, really, and I just go for it, really. I try and go for it. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes I think I do a terrible vocal at times, but it's all trial and error, isn't it?
Do you do vocal warm-ups before you perform?
Not really. I should do. I think.
Right.
I should start doing that. Yeah. Not really. I'll drink water, maybe.
Drink water.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. A good thing to do. Drinking.
And do the nerves affect your voice sometimes?
I think so. Yeah, I think the more relaxed you are, obviously, the better you perform. Obviously.
Right.
Often, if I'm nervous, I won't perform as well as I think I could do, or can do, or maybe because of the nerves, I'll overthink it maybe, and it's all in my head. I don't know, but
yeah.
Nerves can play a part, yeah, in the performance, I think.
Right.
Definitely.
And then, I don't think I've ever heard you play a cover.
I've played a couple.
Maybe not when I've been there.
No.
Do you play covers when you're just at home, or you're always working on your own songs?
Yeah, I try and keep it to the original. Really, that's what I do. But I play a few covers now and again. Have you heard of a song called "Rise" by Eddie Vedder?
No.
Play that now and again. But I tend to stick to originals. I mean, I should learn more covers. I think it'd be better for gigs, give up gig opportunities and get more gigs. I think.
I suppose so, yeah. But then if you want your own originality, it's good to work on your own songs as well.
Yeah, I'm always writing words and stuff, so I'm always, trying to better the song each time, make it better each time. It doesn't work sometimes the song's terrible.
Right.
But sometimes it'll click and you'll get a really good song and, that's a good feeling.
Do you put much thought into what you wear when you perform? Are you I'm this genre, so I need to present myself in this way?
Not really, no. I tend to dress how
you'd normally dress?
I would normally dress, yeah.
Right.
I've thought of wearing a hat.
A hat?
I thought or a bandana or something, or I've considered that.
I'm just picturing a Hulk Hogan bandana with the handlebar mustache.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think just dress normally. I think
suppose
the way I would do, regardless.
Right. And then moving forward, I know you're on the verge of putting out a project, but because you write so frequently, I could imagine you having another project in a few months' time. Do you think you'll have more music before the end of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few different things I'm waiting on, I'm waiting for mixes and stuff. So I've got a few projects I'm working on that I'm gonna put out before the end of the year. Yeah, well, I think I've released too much at the moment. In a way, I think it's easier for the songs to be, missed by people. The more stuff you put out, the more it can be missed by people. Really,
I suppose so.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that sometimes you'll put a song out with very little notice, or you'll be this is out next week or something, right? Yeah. And apparently, with Spotify and these platforms, you're supposed to schedule them so that the algorithm gets them. Do you just think, I'll just put it out?
That's what I've been doing. I've just been putting it out whenever I feel like it, really. But maybe that plays a part in the streams and stuff and the promotional side of things. I should focus more on that, I think.
Nice. I'm looking forward to what you put out next.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the next release will be The Awakening and The Fire, which will be part of an album.
Right.
So I'm releasing 2 songs, The Awakening and The Fire.
Nice. Well, make sure you go and check out all of the releases, past, present and future. And thanks for talking to me, man.
It's been a pleasure.
Can you clap for me? Amazing.